Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, 1 in 3 children in Texas is being raised in a single-family home. We're going to be talking to the great Stacie Martin. She is the founder and president of Single Parent Advocate. Next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
All right, let's be honest. It's tough to raise a child these days in a 2-parent home. Imagine being a single parent raising a child. 1 out of 3 children in Texas is being raised in a single-parent household. An expert on this, who's been featured on the national news, is Stacie Martin. She's the founder and president of Single Parent Advocate. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, I'm super excited to be here.
Well, take us back to the very beginning, because this organization started in the late 2000s, right? 2009?
Yep.
And tell us how it started.
So I have a career in media. I have been in television spot sales for the bulk of my career. And in 08-09, many professions, many executives, and certainly our vertical were displaced because of a large economic downturn.
Sure, the Great Recession.
It was terrible, yeah. And so I was a single mom raising my son here in North Dallas, Carrollton area. And I went to apply for assistance because I wasn't necessarily receiving child support. And it was going to be a long road, Jeff, to probably replacing my income. And so I applied for assistance at the wonderful charities that are here in North Texas. But I fell through a gap. And I found myself crying in the parking lot, honestly, wondering, what was in it for me and my son in the future. And I know many families face that even today. Of course, it's kind of come full circle. It feels like it's come back,
Sure.
And
let's talk about that gap. So you were making too much money for...
Yeah, it's really interesting. So at the time I founded Single Parent Advocate, and I still do, I call it the gap.
Yeah.
And it's the gap between what income you can have that qualifies for the system of suitable aid, help with your rent, help with your, I would say, utilities a lot of times, and then what the actual living wage is. There's always been a window there, and there probably, for the foreseeable future, as far as I know, always will have that window. And so now, looking back 16 years, I can say with hindsight, I fell kind of like into a crack in the system, and there was not any way for people to assist me, whether that is an income hurdle or a geographic hurdle. It is a constraint that exists. And so when I founded Single Parent Advocate and my ad agency, because I was going to need to work for myself, I created a nomination process. And I love this nomination process because it involves a whole community. So families are nominated by churches, schools, nonprofits that maybe have somebody like myself that they don't want to turn away, and business associations or businesses who have families that are in their system. They see them working really, really hard, but still not quite able to make ends meet. Well, they can nominate single parents and their families for the Single Parent Advocate community. And we come alongside families, Mother's Day and Father's Day, back to school, Thanksgiving and Christmas, right here in North Texas. And they drive so far. Some drive from as far south as Houston, as far north as places in Oklahoma, as far east as Greenville, and as far west as Weatherford and Joshua area. And so at any given time at those events, we will have 100 families and their children, which is about the size of an elementary school, I've learned.
Wow.
And we gather and we equip, empower, encourage, and educate alongside the suitable system of aid and the business community to lift lives and keep people from really giving up before it's too late.
Yes, so powerful. You guys created a wonderful video about a month or so ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Making a difference in the life of a child is as good as it gets. And that's what Single Parent Advocate does every single day. We can't thank you enough. Certainly our 3 participating sponsors above and beyond. Expo Home Improvement.
I have the opportunity on a daily basis to work with individuals within the company, help care for them, help encourage them and support them. And then, of course, on the other hand, it's working with outreach organizations like yourself, doing whatever we can to help monetarily or with volunteers. And that's, who wouldn't want to do that on a day-to-day basis?
And we can't thank enough the good folks from Gateway Church.
I'm here today because we partner with Single Parent Advocate, and we just love what you guys do for the community and families. Some of our families at Gateway Church receive things from you guys, and so we just want to be here to continue that blessing.
And certainly thanks to Huffines Automotive Dealerships.
Helping people in the community just brings me pride and happiness. Not everybody gets to grow up with something. I was lucky enough to have that. So being able to give back, it's exciting, it's fun, it's joyful. And I do it at work as well. So I think that's what they saw in me, because I love giving back to just even my coworkers at work.
Lifting lives together. That's what it's all about. And you get a chance to be there, to be a volunteer, to help with the truck unloading, volunteering by serving food, decorating, doing crafts, passing out gifts, simply making a difference in the life of a child.
We talk about impacting people's lives every day. This impacts my life, and why wouldn't you want to do this? It's part of why we're here. It's what we've been asked to do, to take care of others, to be kind and comforting and love.
All right, so let's talk about that event. So December 19th and 20th, tell us how people can get involved.
Oh, absolutely. So annually, we have our big Christmas celebration where we bring in 100 to 150 families, about 350 children and teens.
Wow.
It's amazing. We have key partners, Expo Home Improvement and Huffines, kind of help us move all of the items that our community generously donates and partners with us for.
Yes.
And we load in at a local high school and decorate and create Christmas Wonderland. And then we need lots of volunteers there. If anybody wants to volunteer, Jeff, we try to keep that kind of quiet as far as the location goes,
Sure.
just for the safety and dignity of the families.
Sure.
But you can email me at smartin@singleparentadvocate.org, or you can go on the website at singleparentadvocate.org and follow a link if you'd like to donate and help underwrite some of this work. Costs for family outreach for nonprofits has really, really increased. Where we used to have partnerships for perhaps in-kind partnership with a school, for example, to bring the families in, there was always kind of a trade.
Yes.
And now schools are in the situation where they really have to charge rent just to make things come together.
Wow.
The whole charitable ecosystem, of course, as you know,
Sure.
is under a big adjustment. And so private donations are really the lifeblood of keeping work going. And there are many people I could thank here. The Dallas Margarita Society has donated toys with their children's outreach. We have Success North Dallas coming up. I'm super excited about that. My own community is going to be collecting toys and sending toys to us to distribute. We have had the Highland Village Police Department come and
Nice.
dedicate toys. And so, one of the things I talk about is a lot of times we donate to kids, maybe up to 12, maybe 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is when a family goes through death, divorce, disease, disability, some kind of disaster that derails us or creates destruction in our home, right? And that's the situation with many single parent families. We kind of freeze, right? We don't know what to do. And so we need help and hope and healing that only tactile presence can really bring. And so that's what we're hoping to bring this Christmas. And so when you underwrite a charity's outreach, when we're talking about family services, and in this case, a safe social, you're basically making it possible to be in person with families who otherwise would be isolated and really, a lot of times I've said it, quitting before the day gets started because it just is too hard.
Yes. Stacie, we're going to put up your website, and as we scroll down the website, let's talk about the need now, because people look at North Texas, and it's a fairly affluent community, I mean, in the scheme of things, but there are a lot of families that are really struggling right now. Why don't you talk about the need that you're seeing?
Oh, absolutely. So what happens in North Texas is that we have a living wage, right? What's it going to take to raise 2 kids on your own in any geography? We're talking about home with us here in Texas. So it's about $50,000 to $60,000, living wage, meaning no frills, just, what you need to do to bring in on an income. And many single parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs in order to get to that point. A lot of the competition for employment at that level really kind of precludes a lot of availability for these types of families because they're shuffling daycare and school. And so flex hours, thanks to COVID and where we've come as a society, has created some relief as far as people being able to work from home, but the pressure still stands for technology for the kids to do their homework while a parent is at work or working in the home. And the demands and the differentiators that might make an employer hire a person really kind of clips out a single parent raising their child on their own as a custodial family because they're not available all the time for the happy hours and the networking and the pluses that go with being that type of an executive at an employer. So as employers, what I always say is, let's take responsibility for the opportunities we create. Let's create, if 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 kids are being raised in this type of home, how can we create job shares? How can we create a flexible work environment where the benefits and the income is high enough for a family to stand independently? And I think that that's a big ask certainly for many businesses. But I think if we turn the corner together, we will see more and more families like these enter the workforce successfully.
And Stacie, you've gotten big into podcasting, so we're going to put
It's not like you, Jeff.
We're going to scroll down your podcast page. I wanted to talk. You have actually 2 different podcasts. Why don't you describe them?
Okay, so I'll talk about our legacy podcast first. It's called the Single Parent Advocate Podcast. And I recorded it with a single dad in Florida a long time ago. We started in COVID. He called to interview me. He was angry about what he was going through in Florida, being a single father raising 2 children. Well, he worked for Cox Media, and we drummed up got in stride and partnered with a local company that produced podcasts and talked about his difficulties. And so I related it back to my life as a single mom raising my son alone. And we just talked about all these parenting topics and children's topics. And it was really wonderful. And now I'm super honored to have a podcast. It's a budding podcast called Because They Matter with the great Scott Murray.
Legendary.
Yeah, he's been an amazing mentor, just like you.
Thank you.
And we're partnering with a lady named Rhiannon Graham. She's the sitting Miss Chicago. And she was raised by a single mom in her life. And I got to meet them this last week. Actually, they came to Dallas. She was modeling some sports gear. So we only had a digital relationship until just Saturday.
Wow.
And so we're getting ready to reboot Because They Matter and get our content together. And we'll have Single Parent Advocate Single But Not Alone, and Scott Murray from the Lifting Spirits, Building Dreams Foundation.
Beautiful. Stacie, we have about a minute left, so let's do a call for action because you have this big event coming up and you could certainly use some help.
Oh, absolutely. So first and foremost, singleparentadvocate.org. If you can help underwrite our outreach, we'll be reaching out to about 350 children and teens. We have many, many teens that need assistance. They are not often considered when we're gathering toys. You can bring a toy by the meeting place here in the Farmers Branch area at 13612 Midway Road. We're in Suite 601, and we got a box there waiting for you. And beyond that, I would ask you if you have some time to volunteer on the afternoon of December the 19th or the daytime throughout the day on December the 20th. I'll be happy to talk to you about that. My email is smartin@singleparentadvocate.org, and I'd love to welcome you to our Life Changer community.
Well, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your spirit with us. We're going to end with the website, which again is singleparentadvocate.org. The great Stacie Martin. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.